Hey, hi, hello. My name is Bears, and I just want to extend a huge heckin' thank you. I posted our Pokemon Redeem on Twitter, and I did not expect so many of you to reach out wanting a tutorial or hyping it up as much as you did. So a big heckin' thank you, everyone. Oh my goodness, gravy. For those of you that don't know, hey, hi, hello. My name is Bears, raccoon VTuber and charity streamer, and I'm honored to show you guys how I created this. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is choose any Pokemon animation. There are a ton on YouTube. The one that we chose for our video is by Louie. Shout out to Louie. Go check them out and give them a subscribe. So first thing you want to do is crop it down and make it transparent using a chroma key that can be found in any sort of video editing software. Find what image you'd like to upload, whether it is a Pokeball or any sort of capturing device. Now is when you add it into your video editing software here. Go through the animation that you chose and find the very first frame where you first see that Pokeball or image. And we want to resize the image that you chose to match that first frame animation. Now is probably the hardest part of this whole process. We're going to go frame by frame and move our image along with the animation. That way we can capture it as much as we want. Now is when you would be free if you want to add any sort of different movement or if you want to adjust the sizing or add any different images. Now is when you would do that for your animation. So because we're working on the capturing video, in our animation there is a moment when the Pokeball disappears for a time and then comes back. So we're going to delete any portions where the image is not needed whatsoever. Now we're going to go ahead and go through and find all those shakes and we're going to rotate our image. This may be different depending on what animation you chose to mimic or if you made your own. For me, 19.45 was the perfect rotation for my image. And then we're going to go ahead and find all the keyframes and adjust and rotate as needed. Now in the classic Pokemon, there is a moment when the Pokemon is fully caught, the Pokeball darkens a little bit. So we're going to find that specific bleep noise in our animation and we're going to darken our image to match that. So that is the noise you want to look out for. We're going to go ahead and go into the brightness and we're just going to lower it a little bit just to make it a little bit darker. Now give it a good test. And then if everything is good to go, you're going to go ahead and export your video. Now, very important, you want to export it as a WebM and you want to export the alpha channel. Most video editing softwares have these available as options, so go ahead and do that now. And a side note, for how I have mine set up, I need to have my animations on a separate scene in OBS than my actual overlay is going to be. So at this point, I would also export as an MP3 so I can have the sound separate from the video. We'll get more into that in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and make the escape animation now. You're gonna wanna reuse exactly the video you just made. However, going to edit it, because in our video, there's a portion where the Pokeball opens up into a cloud of smoke. So basically what I wanna do is crop that out of our video and put it towards the end to mimic the Pokemon escaping. Now in this example, I'm using a previously edited video where all of the keyframes are in there already. You guys should be able to just reuse the video that you just created in your cut steps. I hope this makes sense when you watch it back. If not, leave me a comment, let me know. So just like before, we're gonna find the first frame and we're gonna resize our image to match. Now again, if you are using your cut video, you won't have to do any of this. The only thing that will change will be the very last part where the Pokemon escapes. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and delete that ending portion when the Pokeball is no longer there because the Pokemon escaped. And then you can test and you export it the exact same ways you did the first video, exporting as WebM and exporting that alpha channel. Now for my redeem, I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz, so I created my own custom text boxes. You can use a Pokemon font generator for your text. I'll link the one that I used in our video description. And then I love MS Paint, so I just uploaded our text box to MS Paint and added our created font. So at this point, you should have at least 4 things: 1 caught video, 1 escape video, and 2 text boxes if you like, 1 for capture, 1 for escape. If you'd like to make more, I recommend that you use my method when I did the escape example, and you just adjust all those keyframes and add in new images. You can add different Pokeballs, you could add different images, whatever you like. I would recommend you just save both as project files so you can go back and edit them as needed. So this time we're going to add our caught video as a video source in our scene. You can name it whatever you like, just make sure that you remember what it is. Now, very important, make sure the looping is off and the restart playback is selected for this source. At this time, you'll see that your source is appearing on your OBS screen and you can adjust the placement as needed. As you can see in this example, I already have a couple Pokeball videos, so I am going to go ahead and adjust it. That way it matches perfectly to the ones I've already done. For you guys watching, if this is your first time, you won't have any of these other examples, so you just put it wherever you like, and then you're good to go. And that is it. So you'll do the exact same thing with the escape video. You add it as a source, and you can adjust it, resize it, whatever you need at this time in OBS. Always be sure whenever you are done adjusting the size and moving it around, you turn off the loop. We do not want any of these videos to loop, and we always want that restart playback to be selected. Thank you, Bebbers. Now we're going to go ahead and add the command into our bot. For Mix It Up, we're going to go ahead and make an action group, and we're going to add a new action group to make our caught, our Pokemon captured action. Going to go ahead and name it whatever you like. We're going to go ahead and add a counter. That way we can keep track of how many times the capture command has been run. Make sure you select Save to File. That way it will always stay updated and at the current number. And here is where you would type anything you like. And you want the action to say update, and you want it to be a 1. That way every time the capture is run, it'll be a +1. Next, we're going to go add a VTube Studio function to move our model. Now, please do note this may be different for you depending on what bot you are using, or if you're not a VTuber, you can use a streaming software function to move your camera, your source, or whatever you like. We're going to go ahead and select Move Model, and we want the time span to be 0.5, but let me show you 2 examples of what 0 versus 0.5 is going to look like for your model, and you guys can decide. So this movement is going to be where your model is first for the capture point. So now you want to move your model to where you want to be when the image is thrown, the image from your animation video. And then you would select Get Current. This will automatically move your model to the position when the command is run and get those exact coordinates you just put on. This step is only needed if you're going to have your videos on another scene than your streaming scene. At this time, you would add the sound that you extracted earlier, and that way it'll line up whenever the video is run. Next, we're going to add the random command. If you plan on having multiple caught videos, such as different Pokeballs or different items, you would want the random command. If you don't want a random command, if you just want 1 Pokeball or 1 item, you would just use the streaming software command instead. But for now, we're going to add the streaming software to the random command. And here we would select our streaming software, mine is OBS. We would select action, which is source visibility. We want to toggle that video on. Our scene is the avatar scene, and then the source name is what we named it earlier. And then make sure visible is on. This is going to activate that video to play. Next, we're going to add a wait command. Right now, we're setting how long to wait before our source is captured. So if you're a VTuber, this is how long it's going to take before your VTuber is captured in a Pokeball. For this one, I did 3 seconds. Go ahead and copy that move from earlier. Set the time span on this one to 0. We want this to be instantaneous. And then for you VTubers, banish your model to the Shadow Realm. Select Get Current to map the coordinates. Add another wait command. This one is how long your model is going to stay gone while the animation is going. For this one, I did 5 seconds. Next, we're going to add an overlay for images for our caught image we made earlier. Select image, find the image path, save to your desktop. And then you want to set the duration for how long the image should be on screen. This is totally up to you. For me, I did a little over 2 seconds. Adjust the size to your liking. This is going to be your stream, so it's whatever you desire. And then you want to adjust the position of where the image should appear and then disappear from. Next, I wanted something to appear in chat to let the user who redeemed the command know that they either captured me or I broke free. So for this one, we're going to do a captured message. Mix It Up gives me the option to have user display names. And then for me, we can go ahead and add how many times we've been caught using the counter from earlier. Going to go ahead and add another wait timer. This one is how long until our source returns to stream. So VTubers, this is how long it takes for your model to come back onto the stream. For this one, I kept it at 3 seconds. Go ahead and duplicate that first move we did to put your source in the first capture spot. And we're going to set the time span to 0. We want our model or source to return quickly. I'm going to go ahead and clean up these tabs here. And then lastly, we're going to add a streaming software function. You're going to make it the exact same as before. However, you want the visible to be off. This is essentially just an action to turn off that video for the next time it plays. We're going to go ahead and export our actions and save our command. At this time, our capture command is done. And we're going to go ahead and make our escape command utilizing that export we did for our capture command. So you'd go ahead and make a new action group, and from here you would select import action from file, and you would select the action you just created, the capture one. Now, only a few things on this screen are going to change. Firstly, you're going to update the counter to say a fail or a escape, whatever you desire, but you want a new counter. The move is going to stay exactly the same. You would do the Pokemon escape sound for here. The random command, or if you didn't use the random, the streaming software command is going to be updated. You're just going to change that source name to the escape video. For me, I did Pokeball regular fail. The weight stays the same. The model to the Shadow Realm stays the same. The other weight after that stays the same. Your image is going to update to be the escape image if you created one. Your chat message should be updated to reflect the escape or broke free dialogue. Your move model to return to stream would be the same. Clean up your tabs again, Bears. We're going to wait 1 second this time. And then you want to add that last streaming software function again to hide your escape animation. Now that you have both your escape and caught actions, you can finally make your redeem, whether you want this to be a channel point, a sub alert, a bit thing, whatever you desire. This is how you can do it. For me, I made it a Twitch channel point. So you can name it anything you like. Now, to get the randomized chance either escaping or caught, you want to use another random feature. You want to make sure the amount says 1. For action, you want to run command. For the first one, it'll be a command type action group, and you'll do your Pokeball captured. You can leave everything else alone. And then for the escape one, you'll do the exact same thing, but this time choosing the failed escaped animation. And then that is it. If you did everything correctly, here's what your 2 commands should look like. I will link all of the programs and assets I used below. But again, a huge heckin' thank you. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If anyone needs any assistance or any help, please comment below. I will do my best to help in any way that I can. And thank you all so much for the support and the love. What good is a silly idea if I can't share it around with our friends? Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.